Morning, class 10th. Now, today we are starting with chapter 15, that is our environment. There are very general and open ended topic in this chapter. Just let's discuss and listen to me very carefully. You can use these slides also for your further reference. Now, the first topic is regarding the waste that we create, or it is the waste that is created in the environment. See, we humans, we produce lot of waste materials which are thrown away in the environment. These waste, they cause, you all know that they cause pollution of air, water and soil. Basically, the waste materials are categorized into two categories. Number one is biodegradable waste, and then number two is non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste, these are the substances, these are the waste material which are decomposed into harmless substances by the action of microorganisms. For example, vegetables, fruits, their peels, pulses, all these are biodegradable substances. Then there are non-biodegradable waste also, which are not degraded by the action of microorganisms. The very common example is plastics. Plastics, polythene, synthetic fibers, glass, metals, synthetic rubbers, insecticides, these all are non-biodegradable waste materials. Next is we talk about ecosystem and its components. Now, ecosystem, when we talk the ecosystem, what is ecosystem? It consists of all the living organisms with the interaction of biotic and abiotic components. There are different type of ecosystems in the natural ecosystem, like ponds, like lakes, rivers, forests, deserts, all the areas, and artificial ecosystem which are created by human beings, like gardens, like parks, like crop fields, aquarium, zoo, etc. The various components of an ecosystem are biotic components and the abiotic components. Biotic components, that includes all the living organisms. They may include the producers, consumers and decomposers. Then abiotic components are there, which are the non-living components which are very required to interact with the biotic components. For example, air, water, soil, minerals, sunlight, temperature, wind, etc. The next is your food chain. You have studied about this food chain. What is food chain? There is flow of energy from one trophic level to the another trophic level. It normally starts with the producers, then it goes to the primary consumers and secondary consumers, and there are the decomposers too. They usually start with the producer and end with a carnivore. Carnivore, those are flesh eating animals. The energy flow in a food chain, it is always unidirectional. This point is very important, that the flow of energy in a food chain, it is always unidirectional. That is, it goes from producers to the consumers, primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. You can here see the various examples of the food chains. The grass is eaten by moth, the moth is eaten by frog, the frog is eaten by snake, and the snake is eaten by hawk. So these are the food chains. There are food chains on the land also, there are food chains in the water also. Next is these are further examples of the food chains. You can see here producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and these tertiary consumers are further decomposed by the decomposers. Those are microorganisms. The next is your food web. When we talk about food web, what is food web? It is a group of several interconnected food chains. It's just a simple point that grass is not only eaten by rabbit, the grass is eaten by some other organism, some insects also. So the dependency of food as a grass, it is not for the one animal, it is for the various other examples, for various other animals. In a food web, an organism gets food from more than one group of organisms. Here you can see the example also. This is a food web where a plant is there, it is eaten by so many other animals. Then you can see further that these are the interconnected food chains which are there in the food web. Next is the trophic levels. When we talk about the food chain, we can simply see there are different trophic levels on the basis of which the energy is transferred. The maximum energy is available at the producer level. You can see here. It is a ecological pyramids. These are the pyramids which give reference about the different trophic levels which receive energy. Producers, they prepare food by the action of photosynthesis. Basically, the producers are green plants or algae or bacteria which can prepare food for themselves. Then herbivores, which are primary consumers. Then the energy goes to carnivores, secondary consumer, and there are tertiary carnivores, which are the top carnivores also we can see. You can see in this pyramid also producers, then herbivores, then carnivores, and secondary. The least amount of energy available at the tertiary consumers, that is the secondary carnivores. This is a ecological pyramid, very important for this reference. The energy high, population low. You can see high to low. The energy goes from high to low. Clear? This is about the trophic levels. But always remember that the energy is transferred from one trophic level to another, always in a unidirectional flow. It is not reversed. Clear? The next is an important topic, biological magnification. See, biological magnification, it is a phenomena when the harmful chemicals like insecticides or pesticides which are used to protect the crops, these are absorbed by the plants and enter the food chain. The accumulation of pesticides, chemicals in the food chain, we call that as the biological magnification. These chemicals are non-biodegradable. They accumulated at a very trophic level and their concentration keep on increasing and reach up to a higher level in the last trophic level of a food chain. Since human beings occupy the highest trophic level, the concentration of these harmful chemicals is maximum in our bodies. This is the this is the reason why it is always advised to wash the vegetables and fruits before we eat with the water or with some other chemicals so that pesticides can be removed, because in our bodies there is maximum amount of accumulation of these chemicals. A very important topic regarding including this food chain and trophic levels is 10% law. When the energy gets transferred from one trophic level to another, this law is given by Lindemann. According to this law, the transfer of energy from one trophic level to the next, when it takes place, only 10% of energy is available, goes to the next level. Only 10% of energy from organic matter is stored as a flesh. The remaining amount of energy, it is lost to the environment. You can refer this pyramid also. See, at the producer level, 900 joules energy lost. Clear? Then 90 joules, then 9 joules, and at the last level 0.9 joules. Or you simply see this figure, 1000 joules. Suppose 1000 joules energy is available to the green plants, that is producers from the sunlight. Out of 1000 joules, only 10% will be available to the green plants. That means 100 joules will be available. When 100 joules will be available, the 900 joules will be lost to the environment. When we go to the next trophic level, that is primary consumers, 10% of 100 joules, that is 10 joules. Then to the secondary consumer level, 10% of 10 joules, that is 1 joule. And then 10% of 1 joule is available to the tertiary consumers, that is 0.1 joule will be available at the tertiary consumers, that is the last trophic level of a food chain. This is a very important law of nature, that the 10% law, that only 10% energy is available at each trophic level. Okay, you can refer this simple figure also for this. The next is human activities that affect the environment. See, we humans are, during this pandemic also, you see so many the slogans also, you receive so many messages also regarding this, that how the human activities are hampering the environment and they are we have degraded the environment. A very common example that I see in my surroundings also, we use mask. But children as well as adults are not particular about this decomposition or the, you may say, disposal of these masks. We throw mask here and there without knowing the effect, that how much degradation or how much harm they are causing to the environment. So just be careful. If you are, it's better to use the multi-layered cloth mask so that it can be washed and it can be reused again. I just went out of the topic also, but this is very important for you to learn. Now, one of the human activity that has depleted ozone layer in the atmosphere. See, ozone layer is a layer that is present in the stratosphere layer of the atmosphere, O3 molecule. With the use of some chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons, which were used in the aerosols, which are used in the deodorants, refrigerators, air conditioners, chlorofluorocarbons, the molecules of chlorine, fluorine, and carbons, they are depleting the ozone layer from O3 to O2 plus O. So these molecules, they are degrading it, and this is it is very poisonous. This layer, this ozone layer, it protects earth, it protects the plants and animals from the UV rays of the sun, which may, if they may come to us, they may cause skin cancer and other problems. If it is getting depleted, the UV rays get some pores, some holes through which UV rays can enter the earth and cause harm to the human population as well as the plant population also. So this is one such human activities which is affecting the environment. Now, if we have studied about the garbage, that the garbage, there is a major problem of how to manage the garbage. You can see the garbage collectors that come with the song in the surroundings, in the colonies, to Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. We have this government of India has launched also. The major target is that this is very difficult to manage the garbage that we produce. The first important task is to separate the garbage. We don't know, we normally do not separate. If we use the medical instruments also, like syringes also, or some materials which may harm other animals, we simply dispose it in the soil, and it may cause a very you may say threat danger to the animals also. So the household waste, that is called garbage. The garbage is biodegradable also and non-biodegradable also. There are various methods of garbage disposal, like landfills, recycling, production of biogas from the waste materials of the plants and animals, preparation of compost, incineration, and sewage treatment. The sewage also can be treated by the various ways to properly to manage the garbage that we produce. This is a very important and major task, but we should also contribute to this, that how we are separating the waste. It's our responsibility first to separate the waste products and then to give it to kabadiwalas, or go for recycling, reuse, reduce, reuse, and recycling, refuse, recover. We should go for these 4 R's also to have a healthy environment, so that all can live happily in a safe environment. I hope these slides are beneficial to you to learn. So just go through these slides again and again. If you have any doubt, ask your respective teachers. Thank you. Have a nice day.